Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews podcast with CollectorCarCanada.CA. This week, we are running two neat cars, one from the 60s, one from the 70s, both in red, though different shades of red. We have a 1977 Chevrolet Corvette, which is on CollectorCarCanada.CA as lot 188. It was restored with a restoration that was concluded in 2008. So it does not look freshly restored, although it has only been driven about 5,000 miles since the restoration. So the meat and potatoes of the car are good. It could use a few finishing touches before it hits the NCRS judges table. Again, it's presented in red over a black interior. It's got a fresh, in 2008, crate high output 350 V8 to go along with the 3-speed automatic TH350. The other car we have this week is a 1968 Jaguar E-Type Series 1.5 2+2. So the Series 1.5 was the disappearance of the covered headlights, as Jaguar aficionados would know, but this car has been converted to having a Series 1 style fiberglass hood with the headlight covers. So if you look at the hood and the headlight covers, this one might pass for a Series 1, but it is a Series 1.5. Red, finished in red from the original pale primrose yellow. And the reason we know that color is there's a Jaguar Heritage certificate included with the car, and that's presented over a black leather interior, which remains quite presentable. Current owner's had it 10 years, driven only about 4,000 miles, but his repairs and maintenance and upgrades list is quite long. So have a look at what we say about it in the video, but I encourage you to take a look at our listings for both of these cars. Again, the Corvette 1977 is Collector Car Canada lot 188, and for the Jaguar on CollectorCarCanada.CA lot 189, 1968 Jaguar E-Type 2+2 Series 1.5. Enjoy the videos. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews podcast on CollectorCarCanada.CA. Today we are looking at a restored 1977 Chevrolet Corvette, which is on our website, CollectorCarCanada.CA, as lot 188. This 1977 Corvette's restoration was completed in 2008. And at that time, it was refinished in its original red, and it's presented over a black leather interior. At the time of the restoration, a replacement high output crate Chevy 350 went into the car. So when this car was new, it had the Chevy L48 Series 350 cubic inch V8. It retains a 350 engine, but it was installed in 2008 as a crate engine, procured at that time. It's mated to a TH350 3-speed automatic, so turbo hydromatic 350 transmission, very commonly in use at the time by General Motors. And it comes with removable T-roof panels, 15-inch rally wheels, power windows, aftermarket cup holders, and those charming pop-up headlights. A factoid on the Corvette: all Corvettes manufactured between the C2 generation starting in '63 and the C5 generation, which ended in 2004, were equipped with retractable pop-up style headlights. This car from the Crate 350's got dual exhaust. The rear bumper guards are also a period correct piece on the Corvette for C3 generation, and it's got an antenna in the rear. There is a paint blemish noticeable on the rear bumper cover. Otherwise, the paint retains a very nice luster from the repaint during the restoration completed in 2008. We do encourage you to look at all of the photos we have on the gallery. The restoration being completed in 2008, it's not a fresh restoration, so some of the items don't present quite as well as they might have in 2008. The polished 15-inch slot, 5-slot rally alloy wheels are another Corvette OEM C3 feature. They're mounted with BF Goodrich tires with good tread, but age is not known. The brakes were exhaustively attended to during the restoration. They're 4-wheel power-assisted discs, and they're slotted and complemented by SSBC calipers, which were fitted as an upgrade during the restoration. Of course, the Corvette is a rear drive machine, and the owner does recommend a refinishing of the wheels. Inside, there are 2 bucket leather seats upholstered in black. They've got matching carpets and matching interior trim. There is a stock AM/FM cassette stereo, however, it's non-functional at the moment. There's a rear window defogger, power windows, and a tilt and telescoping steering column. Another upgrade during the restoration is fuel injection. So there's a Holley Sniper fuel injection system fitted, and in the interior console there's a 3.5-inch screen with readouts for the fuel injection system and a controller for it. The owner also recommends a few other items be attended to bring this car back up to the next level. New window gaskets on the outside, and the driver's side T-top panel on the inside is missing, so it looks a bit unfinished when it's in place, but from the outside one would not be able to tell from the outside presentation of the panel. And there are, as you might expect on a car this age, 47 years old, there are miscellaneous hardware and small items that are imperfect. Another important characteristic of this car, the driver's seat has a lap belt only, while the passenger seat is equipped with a shoulder belt. The factory 3-spoke steering wheel shows the cross flags, the Corvette insignia, and behind that is a 160 mile per hour speedometer with a 7,000 RPM tach. Of course, this car was manufactured before Canada embraced the metric system, thus the imperial instrumentation. There are an analog clock, auxiliary gauges for coolant temp, fuel level and voltage, as well as oil pressure mounted in their center stack. It's important to note that the analog clock is not functioning. The 5-digit odometer shows just under 99,800 miles. Owner believes this to be accurate, however, we're not able to document the mileage, so please consider this one a TMU, true mileage unknown. Since that restoration completed in 2008, the owner estimates the car has rolled approximately 5,000 miles, and it's been stored indoors otherwise. In the past few years, however, the car has not had much exercise, though it has been maintained year to year. Assembly manual and documentation for modifications are included in the sale. They're in a 3-inch binder that the seller will pass on with the car to its new owner. The high output replacement engine is a 350 cubic inch V8 crate Chevy, and that replaced the original L48 engine. We do have a video where it can be heard running, and the rumble is a pleasant growl. There's a Holley Sniper electronic fuel injection system with the controller on the console, reachable from the driver's seat. Other upgrades at the time, the brake upgrade, there's a DeWitt aluminum radiator as well. Underneath, there's VB&P composite monoleaf spring suspension, which is adjustable for ride height and firmness. There are also pictures on the gallery presenting the car. So again, please take a look at our restored 1977 Chevrolet Corvette. It's available on CollectorCarCanada.CA as lot 188. It's been subjected to a restoration completed in 2008. Please take a look at all of the photos and our paragraph form listing to get a sense of current condition, given that it's been some time since the restoration was carried out. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews podcast on CollectorCarCanada.CA. Today we are talking about a restored 1968 Jaguar E-Type Coupe. It's a Series 1.5 coupe with a 2+2 seating arrangement. It's important to note that the seller of this car took advantage of our PPI pre-purchase inspection service. So the car was inspected the week before it went on our site. The results of the inspection are in writing on the listing for the car, and on CollectorCarCanada.CA, this is lot number 189. So again, a restored 1968 Jaguar E-Type Series 1.5 2+2 coupe, and it's had a pre-purchase inspection, the results of which are on our listing at lot 189. So the car is finished in red. The car underwent a restoration before the current owner's ownership. The restoration was completed some 20 plus years ago, and at that time the color was changed from a pale primrose yellow to the current red you see. The red is over a black interior with leather seats. The reason we know about the pale primrose yellow shade that the car was delivered with from the factory is that the car also comes with a Jaguar Heritage Certificate. So that was prepared by Jaguar and comes with the car. It has all the original colors and when it was dispatched to North America, as well as serial numbers for the major components on the car. Another interesting item about this car is that a louvered fiberglass Series 1 style bonnet has been fitted. Now this was done at the time of the restoration, and as well as the bonnet with the Series 1 style, there are the desirable glass covers over the headlights. So looking at the bonnet and the headlights in isolation, this car has the appearance of a Series 1 despite being a Series 1.5. For Ontario buyers will be interested in knowing that this car is being sold with an Ontario Safety Standards certificate. So nothing to worry about there. Buy this car, go to your license bureau, and you can get license plates once you pay the sales tax. There are authentic Jaguar knockoff 15-inch wire wheels. So that Jaguar moved to the 3 blunts system for the knockoffs for the 1968 model year as required and mandated in the North American market. Another sharp item is that the wheels are skinned in 185/15 Coker red line radial tires. So the red line is a look that is consistent with the period of Jaguar E-Types. Although the owner has owned the car 10 years, he's only driven it approximately 4,000 miles, and we'll get into the maintenance and repairs that he's done in that considerable amount of time of ownership, but relatively low mileage driven by him. The 3-spoke wood rim steering wheel remains in place, and that's in front of Smith's instrumentation with a 6,000 RPM tach, 5,500 red line. And the 160 mile an hour speedometer is in place. And over the center stack, there are some auxiliary displays: voltage, oil pressure, and water temp. Those are aftermarket displays, and Smith's instrumentation for both fuel level and an analog clock are in place in the center stack. The 5-digit odometer shows under 74,000 miles, though we can't be sure as to the mileage on the car. There's a 5-digit odometer, so true mileage unknown on this car. Following one of the mechanical improvements, which I'll get into, the owner found that the tach was reading 600 RPM higher than it actually was. So an LED understated and under the dash tach has been installed. So RPM reading is most accurately read from this small LED RPM display under the dash. The 4.2 liter inline six with overhead camshaft is said to be running strong with good compression. The owner does mention that, like a lot of Jaguar engines in the period, it does leak some oil from the front and rear main seals, and sometimes there can be some oil consumption from spirited driving. Carburetors were rebuilt fairly recently, winter 21-22, by a Jaguar specialist on Long Island named Joe Curto, well known in the community, and the IRS was rebuilt in 2017. Many other mechanical upgrades. A Cool Cat radiator has been fitted, so that's an aluminum piece. A transmission cooler with a fan by Summit Racing is in place. The transmission itself was adjusted some 7 years back by a specialty shop in London, Ontario. There's a 1-2-3 ignition, electronic ignition system, and the differential's been changed. The differential's geared to 3.07 when it was rebuilt by a specialty shop in Cleveland. The stock gearing was 3.54. And most recently, the master cylinder and brake booster were upgraded. Stainless steel flex lines had already been in place from 2017 and the IRS rebuild. And last, a couple more upgrades. Martin Roby remote brake bleeders are installed at all four corners, and the blower fan's been upgraded to a Fiero unit. All the documentation is on hand for the improvements and repairs during the owner's 10 years of ownership, and some documentation still exists from prior ownership. So I'll mention again, in addition to all of the repairs and maintenance documentation, the car also comes with its Jaguar Heritage Certificate, which can also be viewed on our listing for CollectorCarCanada.CA lot 189. Date of build is also mentioned on the Jaguar Heritage Certificate. So I think that wraps up. This car is definitely worth reading about on our listing. It gets precise about all of these improvements and repairs during the current owner's custodianship, and there's a very exhaustive photo gallery. It comes with some spare parts also detailed in the listing, and some are photographed in our gallery. And as well, appearing in our gallery, there's also a link to it, is the pre-purchase inspection the owner commissioned to extend peace of mind to the bidders. So again, that wraps it up for our restored 1968 Jaguar E-Type Series 1.5 2+2 Coupe. It's been subject to a pre-purchase inspection. It is being sold with an Ontario Safety Standards Certificate, and it's on CollectorCarCanada.CA as lot 189. Thank you for watching.